Good morning, everyone. Welcome to webinar third for Junior Skills Championship. And this is Priyanka Chaudhary, and I am the skill expert for IT software solutions for business. Congratulations to all the participants who have that you have cleared round 2, and now you are preparing for round 3. Many congratulations, and all the best for the next round. Today in this webinar, we'll be again discussing about that what all tasks you will be doing in round 3, and what is there in round 3. And also we'll be discussing about how the complexity level will be increased in round 3, and what will be the judging parameters on which you will be judged, your solution will be judged in round 3. And as well as we will be discussing the software requirements, so that you are well prepared to attempt round 3. In this orientation webinar, we'll also again discuss about the steps that you will have to take while to attempt the competition, as well as I will be discussing about a few or mistakes that has been common mistakes that has been done by students or participants in last round. So let us start with the understanding that on what all tasks are there in round 3 for ITSSB participants. So starting with the problem statement. So in round 3 problem statement, as you can see, the tasks has been increased, as well as in these tasks, in round 2 you just had to build the user interface, but in round 3 the complexity has been increased. It will have task 1, that is to build user interface. You will have to use the APIs to get and post to make get and post request, from where you can fetch the information, as well as you should be able to post the information. So these details will be available in your problem statement, and you should be well prepared to do these tasks. Third is writing the SQL queries. So in the problem statement, you will have one more task in where you a problem statement will be given, and you will have to write the SQL queries to solve that problem. So for example, if there is a student database that has been given to all the students, so you will get the SQL with all the database structure and data in it, and then you will have to write a query, for example, to fetch the email IDs of all the students. So this is how such task will be there. As well as this problem statement will be of again 3 hours, and in 3 hours you will have to do these tasks. Before moving to the judging parameters or the marking scheme, I would request all the students that your doubts, we'll take your doubts at the end of this webinar, and I would request you to put them on chat at the end of webinar, when I will ask you to do that, so that we don't miss on any of the questions. Then now moving to the marking scheme or the judging parameters. So in this round, you will be judged on these 4 parameters. First is the design quality of application. So here in the problem statement, you will have wireframes. So you will have a structure of application, that what all elements will be there in the application, and rough design of the application. But you will have to, from your side, you will have to add the color theme. You will have to add styling to the elements that are there. So design quality of application is one of the most important parameter in this problem statement. Then second is the usability of application. It will consist of information. For example, that if your application is functional, in the last round there were times where you designed the application very well, but it was not functional. For example, cards were there, in the last round of application, and those cards were not clickable. So this actually doesn't allow user to use the application. So usability of application is one of the most important parameter again. Then the third is the code quality. So it is important for every student to understand that the so one can write the code, but quality of code is something very important, which consists of that your code is readable, your code doesn't have syntax error, your code has appropriate information, so that anyone who is reading your code can understand the code by just reading it. So for example, the name of variables that you are using, the name of classes that you are using. So those should be meaningful, and those should be understandable, as well as the naming convention you are following. That is also very important. So it should be consistent throughout your application. Then also when it comes to readability, sometimes you when you are writing different methods in your classes, so it is good to put comments around the method, so that it is understandable that you are what this method do. And also just take care of the syntax error as well. Now coming to the next part, that is SQL. So SQL queries for the given problem, we'll review those queries, and that is also one of the parameter for judging. So this is about the problem statement and marking scheme. I would like to repeat. So in problem statement, the problem statement will be of 3 hours. So for ITSSB participants, it will be a 3 hours of competition. And in these 3 hours, you will have to build user interface of an Android application. You will have to you should be able to make get and post request in the application, and for the given API that will be there in the problem statement. And you should be able to write the SQL queries for the given problem. And coming to the marking scheme, in the marking scheme, the following will be the judging parameters. As mentioned, 4 parameters. First is the design quality. You should be able to use, you should be able to style your application very well with the appropriate color theme as per the audience. As per the audience mentioned in the problem statement, as well as you should be able you should develop the application which is usable, and it should be functional. Third is the code quality. Your code should be readable, it should have proper indentation, as well as it should have a proper naming convention. And fourth is the SQL, the queries that you will be writing. Now moving to the next part, that is tools, software, and language that we'll be using in this round. So for round 3, Android Studio version 4.2 should be used. Android SDK that you will be using should be Android 8.0 API level 26, so that your applications that you are developing should be accessible and should be usable and compatible with Android version 8.0. Then coming to WinRAR, so this software should be there, as the problem statement that you will get will be in a zip format. So you should be able to extract the file, and then you should be able to read the problem statement, and also should be able to access the media files which has images and database structure. Then coming to MySQL, so you should have MySQL so that you can write the SQL queries, as well as you should be able to execute them. Then coming to the languages that you will have to use. So for Android application development, you have to use Java, not Kotlin. Java you have to use, and XML will be there, and the SQL for the task third, that is to write SQL queries for the given problem. Now I will be moving to the next part, where I will discuss about the guidelines of how to attempt the competition. I think most of you are now aware about these steps, but again, I would like to repeat here. So during the competition, during the competition, you will have to refer such an email. So you will be getting an email with competition details in between today and tomorrow, and it will have a link to attempt the competition. I would like to mention that please refer to this link or click on this link during the competition timelines, and then during the competition timelines. And here you can all in this competition details email, you can also see the start time and end time of the competition. And also some students sometimes have this confusion that what group they belong to, so it will be mentioned in this email. So you'll have to select the respective skill and then start attempting the competition. So this is how you will have to put the information. So when you will click on this link that will be there in the respective emails that you will receive, you'll have to enter your email ID. So email ID on which you have received this email is the email ID, and participation code you will have to put as you can see in this email. And then you have to select the skill. So again, for skill you can refer it in this email only. In the table on the top row there is a skill mentioned. So if you have any confusion related to that, so you can just look into the email. As well as this information will also be available in the attachment with this competition details email. So always refer to the attachment to understand or to clarify the steps in case you have any doubts. Now coming to, once you will click on the start button, then you will go to this screen where you can see the skill name as well as schedule, and you can see the option to download. So from here you will be able to download the problem statement, and then such a problem statement will be a zip file. So you'll have to download the problem statement, extract the zip file into a folder. So you'll have to extract it using WinRAR software. As I mentioned, you can use other software as well, for example WinZip and so on, but you should have a software for that. And you'll have to extract the file, and there you will get a PDF document which will have a problem statement defined, and you will have to read the problem statement. As well, with the problem statement there is one more folder in your in the problem statement zip file. So there will be one more folder, that is the media files, which will have images as well as database structure. So in the problem statement, you will have such an instruction, and these will be the instruction that will be there in the problem statement. Read the instructions very carefully, as there are times that students miss on the instructions, and because of which they lose points while marking. So I want to mention here that so first instruction is that you will get 3 hours to build and submit this application and the task that you have. So take care of the timelines. Then second is use of external theme in application building is not allowed. So your marks will be deducted if you are going to use the external themes. Then we have next instruction. So refer to the folder media files for images, database schema, and database SQL. So you should be able to refer the images that are available. Also, you can use you can download the images from internet as well. Coming to the last instruction, so that this is the most important instruction which we missed during uploading the solution. So you'll have to upload the zip file of solution. So what you can do is, whenever you are starting with the building the solution, you should create a folder, and in that folder you should put your code and and the EPK file that will be there. So everything should be in one folder, and at the end of the competition, when you are wrapping up the solution, so you should zip that particular folder and then upload the zip file, sorry. So in this zip file, first thing that you should have is the application project files inside the folder name as application underscore code. So this is very important that your folder name should be as mentioned in this instruction. So in the last round, most of the students actually got their marks deducted because of this, that their folder name was not same as mentioned into the instructions. And then coming to the next point, that is APK file of your application with the file name as your name underscore itssb.apk. So the again, you should build your project and then add the APK file as well. And APK file should be with the same name as mentioned in this point. So your, instead of writing your name, you will have to write, so for example, if I am submitting the solution, I have to write the name as Priyanka underscore itssb.apk. And it is very important for all the students to note that if you are not submitting the .apk file, then the application will not be evaluated completely, as you will miss on the important judging parameters, for example design quality and everything. So this will be evaluated using the APK file that you will be sharing. Then next point is add database related solution queries in file in queries.sql. So this is again a very important point, that the file name should be as same as mentioned in the instruction. In last round, we actually give the liberty to students that there were participants who did not write the exact folder names, but we still evaluated. But this is very important, because as you will go go to the national level and international level, so these are very important points to be taken care, that judges will only evaluate the solution as per the instructions given in the problem statement. Then fourth point is optionally add readme.txt file. So if there is any additional information that you want to provide, so for example related to project, or project files, or related to the APK file, if you want to give any additional instruction, so that you can add in readme.txt. And the fifth point is the solution file should not be larger than 100 MB. So these are the points that you have to take care of. And I hope you will read the instructions very carefully, as these are something very important. I would like you to take a look to these instructions, and then I will move to the next slide. Now, moving on to the next step, that is that you will have to upload the solution. So in step 4, you have seen that how you have to build the solution, what all files should be there in the solution, and you have to upload the zip file. So on Curentia, you will come back, and there on this window, you will have to upload the zip file, and click on upload button. And once you get this message that well done, you have uploaded the solution successfully, that means your solution has been submitted. And it is a kind of a confirmation message that your solution has been submitted. But if you are not getting this message, then you should again upload the solution. Now I would request all the students to write down your queries in the chat box, and I would like to answer each of them one by one. Okay, so first I would like to answer. There is a question: can we use Firebase real-time database? So one thing I want to clear here, that there is no a database in the application. So there is a separate task where the database will be given to you, and in your MySQL you can use Workbench or MySQL you can use, and in that you will have to just run the SQL query, and then you will have to write the SQL query to do a particular job in the schema that will be provided to you. So you don't need to configure any Firebase database, or you don't need to connect your application with the database. One is can we use Python or Java only? You will have to use Java only. There's another question. So the SQL is not part of the application or the server at all. Yes, that is correct. The SQL will not be part of the application. SQL task is a separate task that will be there in the problem statement. You will just have to write the queries and submit the queries.sql. Do we have to build the API using Spring Boot, or we have will we be provided with the API? So you will be provided with the API. In this round, you don't have to build the API. You will have to just use the API that will be given in the problem statement. And it will be of both the kind. It will be you'll have to use get request and post request to submit the data, and get request to particularly fetch the any information. Does this round use authentication in app? So in you'll have to read the problem statement. In the problem statement, everything will be mentioned. So if authentication will be there, so it will be mentioned in the problem statement. Yes, we will be giving API to all the participants, and it will be available in the problem statement as it was there in the last round. Similarly, this time also we'll be providing the API. There's a question that please tell if camera is to be on, since then I have to attach a camera to my desktop. So this information you will get in the competition details email. So wait for wait for today and tomorrow. You will get this information, and you can take the mandatory steps accordingly. There's a question from Hari that in the website it was mentioned round 3 is of 3 to 4 hours, as round 3 is more complex than round 2, shouldn't be allowed with more time. Yes, round 3 is again of 3 hours, and the complexity is increased by the number of tasks as well as the timelines as well. So you'll have to do the certain number of tasks in this timeline. Next question is in query.sql, we'll just paste our SQL query from Workbench. Yes, that is required. That is what you have to do. So you will have to write the SQL queries and run them on your Workbench, and then add them in the queries.sql. So all the queries that you will be writing as part of solution should be available in the queries.sql. Next question is, so queries have to be written in notepad file and upload. Queries you can write in any editor, so it can be notepad, notepad plus plus, or even in Workbench you can write. So, but the file should be queries.sql, and it should be part of the one zip file, that is solution zip file that you will be creating. So this queries.sql file should also be part of that one zip file. It should not, you will not be uploading the particular queries.sql separately. There's a question, ma'am. We have to write the SQL commands in PDF file. I would request you to read the instructions once more. That you will have to share the SQL commands in queries.sql files and not the .pdf file. So I'll go back to the screen where we have the instructions with us. This round will also begin at 3 p.m. is the question. Yes, this so on 21st of August, the ITSSB, for ITSSB skill, the competition will be starting at 3 p.m. and it will be ending at 6 p.m. One question is there, that is Windows or Mac OS necessary for attempting round 3? All the software mentioned works on Linux, and I have given both of the rounds on Linux so far. Then please continue with the that only. It is mandatory that you should your system should be compatible to run these softwares that are mentioned, and you can use Windows, Mac OS, or Linux as per your choice. I think we have discussed all the questions so far. So all the very best to all the students, and you can the students who have joined a little late in the webinar, we'll be uploading this recording, and you can refer to this recording anytime to understand that, to know what all we have discussed. And all the very best to all the participants. We'll see you in the next round then. Thank you.